Thanks for joining us again. It's Simon J here from Compare Recruitment Factoring for Recruitment Funding 10. Today we've got Alex Grant from RFS, Recruitment Funding Solutions, pay and bill only providers into the recruitment market solely. I'll let Alex introduce himself, but enjoy. Alex, thanks for joining us. Recruitment Funding Solutions. Yeah, give us 30 seconds, minute on you, a little bit about RFS and I guess the journey.
Yeah, hi Simon. Thanks for having me on. About me, recruiter by heart, straight from university into recruitment. Ran a few driving desks, actually, logistics recruitment for me.
Phone calls at 2 o'clock in the morning and filling shifts and things like that. Hardcore recruitment.
Those were the good old days, absolutely. Learning recruitment the hard way, 360 recruitment.
Yeah.
Had a few good years. I think in the industry now, 12 years or so now. I know it doesn't look possible. I could possibly worked in that long, but I think I've aged a bit during this time. But yeah, so a few good years in recruitment. Really had a good stint.
Yeah.
I got headhunted across into the payroll side.
Okay.
So saw things on that side. Had a good spell with quite a large sort of payroll provider as a sales manager there, and then eventually sort of spread my own wings and set up my own as a payroll business at the time.
Yeah.
And then since gone on to with the sort of wider group that I work with, business partners I work with. We've then gone on to setting up the back office and funding element with Recruitment Funding Solutions. So,
Recruitment Funding Solutions, RFS. I think everyone says RFS, and it's a bit like CRF, RFS. It's just so much easier. Recruitment Funding Solutions, and Recruitment Funding Solutions, just quickly, is how old now?
So it was, we incorporated, I think it was June 16. So
coming up 4 years.
We're coming up to 4 years. Yeah, we'd sort of ran the back office for a sort of group of companies internally.
Yeah.
And then eventually took the polished product out to market. And yeah, it's been a good journey, and obviously some challenges now. But
interesting way to create a business. Interesting way to start from it being from the group business and mold it into a sellable product into the wider market. So yeah, really interesting. I think as part of this series, we're going to do some more videos that are more related to actually how the businesses are created and how the funders and how they work and a bit of the background. So I'd really love to cover that. Yeah, RFS 4 years old. Only supplying to the recruitment market and only supply sort of pay and bill facilities. So yeah, quality. I'll jump into the questions because every time I say this, I'm conscious of time. Absolutely. I've sent them to you before. You don't deal solely, but you deal quite heavily in the construction market for recruitment businesses. And I was interested, and someone else spoke to me the other day about this, is what you see the construction market, as in for recruiters supplying into, will look like in the coming 6 to 12 months. So not right now. We've kind of spoken about it so many times of where we're at the moment in all sectors, but 6 months time, so November, December, and 12 months time, where's the construction market going to be for recruiters, and what does it look like?
Yeah, I think construction, as you say, isn't the only market we work in, but as you say, it's a big chunk, and I think because of the nature of our service and our product offering, we are particularly attractive in this sector because of the sort of risk-free element of it.
Yep.
So we do sort of find ourselves working in this space because everyone knows construction. There are associated risks in that space.
Yeah.
In terms of landscape, next 6 to 12 months, I think it's a mixed bag. Probably is a good way to put it. I think.
I'm not going to hold you to this either. I'm not going to rewind this video in a year's time and say this is what Alex said. You were wrong. So
Well, I don't think anyone's got a crystal ball to know definitively, but I think what we do know at this point is the government have highlighted construction infrastructure as being one of the sort of areas of I guess, economy recovery.
Yeah.
They're highlighting, construction and manufacturing in this country as being, one of the ways out of, the economical place we're going to be in the short term. So I think there'll be lots of opportunities for recruiters, supplying temp and eventually some permanent staff potentially. I think the temporary workforce in this country is going to be vital, and obviously that's obviously good news for.
Do you think that we'll be at a place in 12 months' time where the temp market in the construction sector will be as it was pre-COVID, or bigger, smaller? Just a guess. Again, I'm not going to hold you to it.
I think it's really hard to say. I think if dependent on other things like insurance as well, because obviously that's going to have a bearing. Obviously, we spoke a bit earlier about that and made reference again to it. But I think that's going to have a bearing. But I think in terms of projects, funding that will go into it, and opportunities, I also think with the recent pandemic and the subject of furloughing and your obligations to employees. People perhaps will turn to a more flexible workforce because of, perhaps the flexibility that it will offer in terms of that sort of thing as well. So I'd like to think, based on those factors, that we'll be in a better place in 12 months. I certainly hope that's the case as well.
Fingers crossed, but it makes sense as well. It does. So, secondly, for me, Alex, we said you're 4 years old. Congratulations, coming up in June. COVID out of the way, pre-COVID, the last 12 months before, where have you seen the major growth for your business? So a full pay and bill, principal risk-free model. Where have you seen those growths? So we spoke about construction. Your business fits hand in hand with construction, but it's not just that in different sectors. Where's the growth been for the pay and bill market for your type of business?
Yeah, I think in lots of areas. I mean, first of all, I think probably the last 12 months for us has really been we've been on a very upward trajectory, very good growth, very positive. Lots of new clients sort of joining us, working with us. I think we've grown in different areas. We've grown as a business in terms of activity levels and trading levels, but we've grown in terms of our processes, in terms of our product. We're continuously evolving the product to make it better and updating it to improve the service for the clients. So we've improved the product offering an awful lot as well. In terms of sectors, as you say, construction's a good spot for us. We've also I suppose we're working with more in the education market.
Okay, cool.
Healthcare market. Obviously, at the moment, education not as busy, unfortunately. But hopefully, that's with schools returning and stuff that'll improve again. But education's been a good sector for us. I would say the stuff that kind of goes hand in hand with your construction, so your engineering, manufacturing type businesses,
industrial
IT. Driving. Exactly, yeah. Industrial driving is where there's a high volume temp requirement, which such as those sorts of sectors. Yeah, absolutely, they're good spaces for us. But I'd say IT has also been a good sector for us, and it's a nice industry for us to work in as well.
Hospitality, just in time for hospitality, but prior, much in hospitality.
A bit.
Quite temp driven, quite numbers driven.
Yeah, a bit. We've took a few agencies on in the last 12 months in hospitality. As you say, how that's going to look at them. They're one of those sectors you really feel for. I think with retail, aviation, hospitality, those sorts of sectors are, may feel this, So we wait and see on that. But hospitality is a space.
It's a real mixed bag then, which is good. Real mixed bag.
Generally, probably a good point to make on our product offering. We do deal with established agencies, but we are very popular with startups. The service and the product really lends itself to startups as well.
As does pay and bill in the market, in fairness, and we've always said that pay and bill, not all the time, but pay and bill funding works really hand in hand with new start businesses, owner managed, owner run, owner recruited businesses. So yeah, cool, brilliant. And finally, Alex, I wanted you to provide one question for me. So yeah, over to you this time.
Okay, I suppose in to follow up on the final, the other point there about the us being a good startup option. One of the questions I'm getting asked quite a lot at the moment is what advice you might give to someone who may be considering starting a recruitment agency right now in this climate.
Wow. So this could be a really short answer or a really long answer, and I'll make it a really short answer because I appreciate we're probably nudging over the 10 minutes already. But the really short, quick answer, and I posted this somewhere on LinkedIn a couple of weeks ago, just talk to as many people as you can. So get as much advice and talk to as many people. Anyone that's done it before, anyone that's thought about doing it, talk to obviously your colleagues if they're aware of it, but literally talk to anyone you can and get as much advice as you can. Don't go and sign up with the first provider you talk to for anything, for websites, for factoring, for funding, for anything. Don't sign up with the person that's just you click with. Do the research, ask the questions, and try and talk to people that have been in exactly the same boat as you a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. The people that have done it are the people that will make it happen for you. And I will always say that, I think, just talk. Interesting to see what you think. I haven't done this before, actually, but I'll come back to you on your own question. Well, yeah. What advice would you give?
I think probably
non-funding related, really. Actually, I think let's try and get out of funding a bit. But
well, I mean, one of the things I think is now might be we're seeing a lot of inquiries. Now might be the perfect time in terms of timing. If you were sort of oohing and ahhing as to whether to do it, now might be the perfect time. And a lot of people, a lot of startups particularly, one of the things I get asked about is, do I need an office space? We're a startup. Can I do this from the kitchen table to start?
They now know. Very valid point, Alec. Yeah, real valid.
So perhaps it might lay to rest some of the fears people might have about starting up, because actually they may, during this time, be having to work like this anyway.
Working in isolation, will I be able to do it? And the people that were considering doing it might know that they can't do it because it doesn't work for them and they need to be in a big office in the city or something like that. So yeah, I haven't even thought about it from that. That's a really valid point. And then the people that were concerned about the isolation now know that they can work from the garden or work from the bedroom or work from the spare bedroom and work really effectively. So that's a pretty good point. I think that goes to the same for most people in most sectors, really. You can either do it or you can't do it. And I'm a home worker and I can do it quite well and it works for me, but I know there's a lot of people that are busted, are literally desperate to get back into the office. So that's a really good point. So, wow, that's great last question. Appreciate you jumping on with us. I'll get it posted and shared. We'll catch up soon. Thanks for joining us, Alex.
Thanks for having me, Simon. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.